Hello, this is Connor Mary Forrest, and today's discussion will be about what am I grateful for. I thought I would do this as a way of focusing on what is positive in my life. This may be very therapeutic. Maybe it'll get you to focus on what is positive in your life. Well, for starters, I am grateful to have family. I'm grateful to have friends. I'm grateful to at least have somewhere to live, even if I may not be fully happy with it. At least I'm not homeless and out on the street or having to be in a homeless shelter, which is good. I'm grateful that I have the most lovable pet who's a black cat by the name of Midnight. He he is my best companion, my best friend. He's like a child to me, like a son. He brings me joy and happiness. So to focus on him and how he makes me feel, that's positive. Because there'll be times where I'm sad and he'll cheer me up. See, that's positive. Also, very spiritual to experience the love from a pet or anything that loves you. See, that's another thing I'm grateful for, that I can feel love. Not only feel love, but receive love from others. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm an individual, that I don't have to be like somebody else, that I'm original, I'm unique, I'm my own person, I'm a creative person, I'm very insightful. I'm also grateful for the fact that I am an empath. Even if it may bring me pain sometimes, I look on the bright side of things. I'm an empath for a reason. I'm an empath because I was meant to help other people with it. So if I feel the pain of other people around me, it's because it's my way of learning to understand how to help them. So when I retrieve somebody else's emotions and their vibrations, I can learn how to help them. So that I am grateful for. I'm grateful that I have a laptop where I can play games on it, even though my Sims game doesn't always work like it should, and sometimes it just does. Sometimes I have to somehow figure out how to go in, correct it, and sometimes I've had problems with my computer itself, but at least I'm happy that I have something that I have a source of entertainment from. I also have a flat screen TV. It's not like a big flat screen TV, but it's big enough to fit on my entertainment center, so I'm grateful that I have an awesome bed in my bedroom that is very comfortable, because I got that bed the very same week that I got this couch that I am actually sitting on. Um, I got the bed because I felt that I would benefit from it, because it's one of those Tempur-Pedic beds, but mine's a environmental Tempur-Pedic bed. So basically, it's good for the environment. That's another thing to be grateful for. But it brings so much comfort to my bag, and it's easy to sleep on. So I focus on that. I focus on the fact that I have some really neat, awesome things in my apartment that I like dream catchers. I have my own altar with statues on it, candles, stuff that connects to me as an individual. Um, and then that entertainment center over there that I have, that I'm pointing towards, I have to corner it over here. As you can see that thing with the stickers on it and photos and such. Yeah, well that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I can have food to eat, that I don't have to starve. There are some people that starve to death. And I'm grateful that I don't have to be like them, but at the same time I do feel a sense of sadness and sorrow for them. Because why should anybody have to go without food? That's just not right. Um, but there are some people even in our own country, the United States, who starve to death. Well, sometimes it can be because people are anorexic or they suffer from bulimia, and I'm glad I don't have to suffer from that. Even though, in a way, I kind of do have an eating disorder because I like to eat a lot. That's kind of an eating disorder I have. I'm a compassionate eater, but usually I'm a stress eater. But I'm grateful for another thing that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I don't have to be diabetic. Even though I do admit I feel sad that my mother is diabetic and that I, you know, didn't get it. So I sympathize with her in that area because it's not really fair that she has to have diabetes. Diabetes is not fun. From what I've learned about it, it's not fun, and it's just something I would not wish on anyone. So I'm just grateful that I don't have diabetes because it can cause a lot of problems. I do have a thyroid problem, so sometimes it seems like my neck bulges out because it's the muscle in the neck. It's not so much fat, it's just a muscle that doesn't work like it's supposed to. Um, I'm grateful that I have really pretty eyes. And they're like a very unique hazel where I don't just have two colors. I have mostly green in my eyes, but I have gray, blue, brown, and yellow in my eyes. And my eyes are so unique, they change color depending on what I'm wearing. But usually they reflect green. You know, another thing I like about myself is that I'm extremely pale. I don't mean that in a racial sense. I mean, I like the fact that I'm pale like a porcelain doll almost. I mean, even though I would desire to be more pale, but from what you see is my skin is very close to that wall as far as my paleness goes. Even though in my mind I'm not pale enough. Even though I do like being pale, I prefer being pale. I don't like to tan. I'm grateful that I have clothes to express my own individuality, but also to keep me warm. I'm grateful that I found a wonderful trench coat at Low Income Ministry. They had a store there, and I got this thing for like super cheap. And it's a trench coat. I don't know if it's actual leather or what it is. I think I should get it, show you. So yeah, let's just wait here for a sec. I know, baby cat. My cat likes to talk. Am I not doing this thing right? Evidently. Alright. So yeah. Evidently this is my coat. My trench coat that I got from Low Income Ministry here in Nebraska. Alrighty. Let's see what else am I grateful for. I have an awesome gothic purse. Might as well show you while I'm at it. This is one of my really super awesome gothic purses that I have. I just wish that it was more sturdy. But it looks really cool. I like it. Um, I'm also grateful that these were invented to begin with. This is a watermelon dual. So meaning one side has mint and then one is like watermelon. So yeah, that's like my favorite mint because you got the fruit and the mint side, and it is a proper balance where it tastes really good. They have a raspberry flavor and a strawberry flavor, I think. So usually I will get the other flavors too of it. Let's see, what else am I grateful for? I am grateful that I am not in a negative relationship right now with anyone. Because there's some people that get themselves caught up in these very toxic relationships, and I'm grateful that I'm wise enough to just avoid that. I mean, yes, I'd like to have a relationship somewhere down the road, and yes, I'm single, but I would rather focus on being wise and just careful who I get in a relationship with as far as dating goes. But yeah, I will, however, admit that just the whole idea of dating is awkward feeling to me. It's not so much commitment issues. I guess one could consider it that, but it's so much as that I often just want to be very cautious and careful who I get with. That, and I am so unique that I would need the right kind of relationship where someone accepts me for who I am. Well, that, and I have a deep interest in gothic men. I also have a deep interest in men that are highly intelligent and men who have a great sense of humor. And I've had the combination of all the traits that I like in a man. That would be the ideal man for me. Well, and that, and most important, a good heart. Now that would be an awesome man. To have a good personality, charming good looks, who's into goth culture. That would be the ideal. And let's see, what else am I grateful for? I have to really think about this. I'm grateful that there's a band called Evanescence, and the lead singer is Amy Lee, and that I can relate to her. Yeah, I love that band, and I love Amy Lee. I feel her personality is so much like mine, and I can kind of seem like her, but I'm not going to go as far as to say that I actually sound like her. I kind of do. I've had people swear up and down that I do sound like her, but I don't know. Maybe that's just their opinion. I really don't know. Um, I'm also grateful that the band 3 Days Grace exists. There's some awesome bands that I get into, and I'm grateful that they exist because you got something that you can relate to or something that feels soothing and relaxing to you. I'm grateful for the existence of my goddess Taket. The fact that I found my way to her when I was at the age of 19. I'm grateful for Hecate, grateful for Zeus, grateful for Bastet, the Egyptian goddess of cats, and I'm grateful for her children who are apparently cats. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for the fact that my friends feel so much like family to me, and I feel very positive vibrations when I'm with them. That they not only do they care, they're protective of me, and they're grateful of me. Um, that's a good thing. I even have some friends that are friends with my mom and dad. Um, and that's an awesome feeling to have. I may be an only child, but the odd thing is I'm grateful to even have the title of an aunt because I am like an aunt to my friend. Shamara's niece, Breeza. Um, and I'm like an aunt to, if like my friends have children, I'm like an aunt to them. I'm grateful for the fact that children like me. Um, that they usually like being around me. They smile, they coo and giggle at me if they're babies, usually. Because my niece that my friend had recently, she enjoys my company. She smiles and she coos at me, and it's an awesome feeling. To know that a child likes you so much. I don't know how to explain it. Why children feel like I'm approachable, like they just want to come up to me. Animals are the same way with me too, because they'll often come to me. Sometimes I don't even need to go to them; they come to me. Basically, and what else am I grateful for? I have cable. Um, let's see. That I have shoes. I even have boots. I even have a pair of high heels, even though they're uncomfortable. I'm grateful for the fact that I didn't that the one time that I wore them I didn't trip. Because some people don't know how to walk in high heels and will trip. Or sometimes you're just prone to doing clumsy things. But I, for some reason, am able to walk in high heels without tripping, which amazes me because for the longest time I've been a very clumsy person. So I'm grateful for that too, as well. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful the good movies come out and I can watch them. I like horror movies. I like comedies. I like actions. I'm not so much a chick flick person, but every now and then, if a chick flick good enough, like Notebook, that's a good movie. I'm grateful for have watched that. I don't know, that just seems like that's a very good movie to me. Because usually I don't like chick flicks. Usually they have to have comedy in them for me to relate or at least like them. Because I always like comedy. There I go again. I'm grateful for Jim Carrey, who entertained me as a child, even up to recent years. And of course, he entertained my dad. Um, my father, Terry, always seemed to love Jim Carrey. He would even imitate him. So, some of my best memories were watching Jim Carrey movies. I'm grateful for the fact that I used to live in Covington, Washington, and I used to live in Seattle, and I have memories of Seattle, and I have memories of Covington, and I'd like to move to Seattle one of these days. I'm grateful for the fact that there is a Science Pacific Center in Seattle that I've been to as a kid. I had some interesting memories from that place that I'd honestly recommend anybody to take their kids there. I'm not kidding you. I'd even take my friends there if I could. If I had the income to travel right now, because that's something I'd like to do. I like being spontaneous. I'd like to be able to travel. I guess I would say I am adventurous, but not like hardcore adventurous. I do have standards as far as being adventurous goes. Like I don't take it to the extremes. Like I know what my boundaries are. Like I'm afraid of heights. So I don't believe in jumping off an airplane unless I really have to. And I'd probably shit my pants and then die. I don't know, maybe I might be able to survive it despite the fear. But I can honestly say that, you know, um, you'd be surprised what you can um, survive. So basically, I'm grateful for the fact that I, when I fell out of a tree at the age of 7 and had to have stitches in my lips, that I didn't break my neck or somehow became paralyzed. Like some kids often do get paralyzed if they fall out of a tree. Um, I know that sounds odd, but I literally, as a child, felt like someone was watching over me. because it could have broke my neck, or I could have choked on that spoon that was in the popsicle that I was eating up in the tree, because I was a little tree monkey as a kid. I liked to climb trees. I'd even climb up on the monkey bars that I had in the backyard. Oh, I loved my backyard that I had as a kid. I'm not kidding you. I miss that backyard. And then I had like a place outside of the house. It was called a greenbelt. It would run on like both sides of the neighborhood, and I like going out there, hanging out there in the greenbelt, building fortresses out of sticks, just hanging out, using my imagination. Sometimes I hang out with my friends out in the greenbelt. It was a lot of fun. I loved being out in the greenbelt as a kid. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for all the pets I've had in my lifetime that have brought me joy. Even the one, which is odd too, because I've had 2 cats in my lifetime with the name Midnight. But the first Midnight I had, he only lived a short period of time, because we had to put him, well, I should say my mom and dad had to have him put to sleep because he had a tailbone trauma up his back, and he eventually would have died anyways. So I have a new cat in my apartment that I got like during 2012. And see, the thing is, I didn't name him. The lady who fostered him before I even adopted him named him. And I don't know if it was a coincidence that his name was Midnight, but I just knew I was meant to have this cat. And even my mom wanted me to have him because she knew he would make an awesome pet. Because he's playful, loving, affectionate. I highly recommend to have a black cat. A lot of people are superstitious and think they're bad luck, but I honestly say that out of all the cats that you could possibly have, a black cat is more likely to be friendly, and if you're naturally a dog person, you'll instantaneously love black cats because they act like dogs in a lot of ways. I mean, yes, there are other cats that act like dogs, but I've noticed with black cats, it's very common for them to have a code-independent personality where they just want to be around you. They're very affectionate, very playful. Like I said, with the whole my cat, I can't leave him alone for too long. He'll cry at the door, crying. I'm not kidding you. He suffers from kitty cat anxiety. I coined that phrase because it's anxiety he's suffering from, and I just thought it would be cute to say kitty cat anxiety because even lightning and thunder will scare him and set him off into anxiety, and he'll often hide or often feel he needs to be cuddled and relaxed. So I will comfort him when I can. I'll sometimes even sleep with him like a teddy bear. That's another thing I'm grateful for, that I can do that with him. He'll also let me, my cat will also let me hold him like a baby and rock him back and forth. It doesn't let most people do that. It just lets me do it. But, so I'm just very grateful to say that I've had so many companions in my life that were animals. Also cats, but I've had other pets too. I even had a snake for a good friend that I rescued from a cat of mine. I wanted to keep it as a pet, but my mom's no. So one of these days I wouldn't mind having a snake for a pet. Lizards are awesome too. I'd like to have a lizard. I'd like to get a bearded dragon lizard. Those things are cool. Cool to look at. I've known people that have had them. But, I am also grateful that at least I have people in my life that accept me for the way I am. Because that's something that I appreciate. Because being different and being strange and out there, it's hard for people to accept that. Most of the time. But sometimes you can get a perfectly normal person to accept you for who you are. being strange. I don't understand why some people find you to be fascinating, because I've had normal people feel like being around me. Like they would treat me like I'm approachable to them. So, like once I had somebody in a gas station tell me that I'm a character. And I can tell he meant that in a positive way, because I was obviously entertaining him and his friend. They were laughing. Well, because I was like complaining about my neighbors, about how they just don't mind their own business and they're gawking at me and they're annoying. I'm just saying, it's very true. But because I'm in areas, I'm very blunt about it, and I tend to be humorous when I sit there and nag about my neighbors, or just nag about something that irritates me. That I'm grateful for, that I have a sense of humor, that in the end of the day I can laugh at myself, that I do something embarrassing, instead of feeling down about it, I'm gonna poke fun at myself and be silly about it. Oh, I tripped over my ass. Ha 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 ha! I'm clumsy. See, that's a better way to go about it. When you do something embarrassing, just laugh uncontrollably and poke fun at yourself. I like poking fun at myself, and that's something to be grateful for. What else am I grateful for? I have running water. That's to be great thing to be grateful. I'm grateful that I don't live in a country where I am not allowed to have freedom. I'm grateful that I don't live in a place like Africa or Australia. No offense personally, but those places are dangerous. Because Africa has dangerous animals there, and Australia has dangerous animals there that can kill you, even ones that are poisonous. And that whole tunnel weave spider, don't even get me started. And the fact that the snakes in Australia are deeply poisonous. Yeah, that makes me weary of going there. Yeah. Well, that and Iraq would be a place to be weary of, because the fact that I practice witchcraft. So, and I know that it's in that place they're very heavily against witchcraft. Even though I do know that Russians are very against gay people. So I'm as much as I'd like to go there, I'm kind of weary of that, because what if I give off that I'm bisexual? If I give off lesbo vibes? I'm just saying. So I'd have to be on the down low with that if I ever went there. I'm just saying. So, which goes hand in hand with the fact that I'm grateful to be in the United States. I mean, we still have to fight for our freedom. It's not completely for free. So, yeah. And let's see, what else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for beautiful places in nature that I can go out and relax in. Let's see, what else am I grateful for? I'm grateful that it doesn't flood and kill me, because there are some places that overflood and people are in danger of losing their home and dying. So I'm grateful for that. What else am I grateful for? Oh, I'm grateful that I have a face that isn't burned or disfigured. Even though I do feel sorrow for those people, I feel sadness for them. And I still see them as people, even if they have a disfigurement. They're still people, okay? Doesn't make them any less human than you. or someone else, you know. If someone is born with a weird looking face, they can't control that. It's no different than the fact that I can't control that I'm bipolar or have attention deficit disorder, you know. I'm grateful that at least that my attention deficit disorder isn't at the extremes that some people could have it, that I'm not like flat out mentally retarded. I don't like using that term. I really don't like that R word. But there are some people that are classified as such because they not only have attention deficit, but they have like a hard time learning. There's not just a hard time learning, but they have a very low IQ too as well. I can say mine's not like the worst case scenario because I'm actually smarter than most average people, I should say. Well, that my IQ is smarter than an average person is what I mean. Sorry, because it's like 106, which is considered smarter than an average person. But it's not like my dad's IQ, which is 140. I wish I was as smart as him, but at least I'm not like the worst case scenario with an IQ. I'm grateful that I got ordained as a minister and that I can teach spiritual knowledge to other people and help people as a minister. I'm grateful for that. It's something I've wanted to do. I mean, I know I want to be an actress. I know I want to be a singer. I know I want to do a lot with my life. I want to move to Seattle too. I'm probably going to wait to do the church that I want to get started once I'm in Seattle. If that ever happens. I really don't know how I'm going to go about it. But I know one of these days I'm going to want to start a church devoted to Hecate and just make it a very spiritual place. It's very peaceful and loving. So yeah, my ears itching. Sorry about that. I'm grateful that I have such unique ideas and that have a strong imagination. That is an awesome thing. Even if I can be an escapist and often want to escape from my imagination. I'm grateful that we even have a New Age store in Nebraska, which is Next Millennium. Well, there's other New Age stores too, but I love that store. I'm grateful that that store exists because it's like a place that's very peaceful to me. I feel like I belong there. I'm not kidding you. When I feel that way with a place, I know there's a reason. There's a very positive vibration with that place, and so I like to go there. Even though I have a habit of buying things there, but I'm just saying that I will have to go there just for the sake of the kind of vibrations I feel from the place. And the smell that I smell in there, because sometimes they get the incense going. That's a pleasant scent. So I like it. You can find awesome things there for New Age and Wiccan and pagan sources. But I've seen Christian items there and Catholic items there, so. But it is, in fact, a New Age store. And what I think is awesome about Next Millennium is that they have this shrine set up to the goddess. You can also leave offerings for her. You can also pray to the goddess. You can ask the goddess for help on something, like, or just if you got a wish, for instance. And that's what is awesome about the place. Other than the fact they do awesome stuff there, and I like the vibrations of the place. But it is in fact in Omaha. I like that. I'm grateful that lavender exists. You know, the herb, the flower lavender. I like lavender. It's a very peaceful scent and vibration they get from it. I like that. I like sage as well. And let's see what else. I'm really trying to brainstorm here. I'm grateful that the color purple exists, which is basically the child of blue and red. But I do, in fact, like purple. I like teal, and I like black. And I also like blues, especially cobalt blue or like really dark blues, like midnight black or navy blue. Pretty much any shade of blue is pretty much my cup of tea. But usually darker blues or a bluish greenish color. I also like reds and I like silver, and like I said, I like the plant lavender, but I also like the color of lavender. So, I'm grateful that I published a book, even though I made no money on it. Yes, I'm an author. One book. It's not like a huge novel, it's like a short book, which I probably would have made money if it was bigger, but I don't know if I'm going to do business with the publishing company that I published that book through, because I didn't make any money off of it, and their editors were not awesome, so with it. They didn't make me any money, so I don't know if I'll do business with them again. Because it's kind of the key. You want to be able to make money off of it. I want to be able to be successful at something I do, because that's the thing with being an Aries. You just enjoy being successful at what you do. Basically, I try to achieve the higher goal in what I'm going to do, just for the sake of doing so. But sometimes you're not always successful with what you do, but hey, that's okay. Life is life. It's like gonna be that way. You're not always gonna get things the way you want them to be. But as far as things go, just focus on what you do have. Basically. Focus on the people that love and care about you. Focus on friendship. Focus on all the positive things that you can think of in your life. Focus on the fact that you are alive and breathing, and you can eat, have a bed, have a roof above your head, because some people don't have that. So often things we take for granted, other people lack in their lives. I mean, yes, there may be things that lack in my life, but at least my needs are usually met. So I'm grateful for that. Let's see, what else am I grateful for? I'm grateful that I don't have cancer. That sucks. Or tumors, whatever. That sucks. I'm grateful that my hands are very, very flexible. I could do this. Yes, yes. That it looks painful. I don't really feel it doing that. It actually feels better that way. So my hands are very flexible, more so than any part of me. I also have a talent with my toes. I don't know how to show you that, since it would be kind of a pain in the butt to move my webcam that's connected to my laptop all the way down to my foot to show you. Just saying. What else am I grateful for? I have an air conditioner that I can use when it gets too hot. Oh, I'm grateful that Mountain Dew exists, because they have all kinds of interesting flavors that you can try. They also have an energy drink that doesn't taste like an energy drink. To me, at least, it doesn't have a bitter aftertaste. I like the black cherry flavor. God, sorry about that. Let's see, what else am I grateful for? Try to think. Usually my screensaver, when it goes up, there's the bubbles. Look, I set it up that way. It's kind of weird because my inner child likes to come out and play with those little bubbles and pretends that I'm popping in them. Even though that's kind of cat-like by nature, which I do have a tendency to act like a cat. When I see something that a cat would typically play with, I'll play with it sometimes. I know that's silly, because there was a toy at Walmart. You push the button, it has this tail, it's like a ball, it has this tail that moves around, and I just feel like batting at it like a cat. I know that's so silly that I do that, but I swear, I do it just like a cat. And I'm curious like one. No. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for the fact that I'm really good at designing things as far as homes go on, on Sims. Even though one of my friends that's like a brother to me, he swears up and down, my friend Patrick, he swears up and down that he thinks I'd have a natural talent for designing homes or even building homes. I told him that requires math and that requires a lot of logic. And he says, well, if you can build homes and Sims really good, I don't know what your opinion is on that, because I honestly think it takes more than just your knowledge of designing things. Because I think it requires math and technical stuff. Like, well, for instance, plumbing. If you're going to do a house that requires plumbing, because most of them do. Um, I don't know plumbing. I don't know much about electricity, how to set it up. So I would require someone who would know that if I ever got into house building. But I do swear that I will look at a house that's abandoned and I will see the beauty in it, but I will think of ways of how to restore it to its original beauty, but also make it 10 times better. Which is just something I've noticed with myself. Like, oh, this color would look awesome in there. Or I could put new windows in there that look classic, beautiful. Just all kinds of interesting ways on how to make a house look better. See, me, I tend to like things that are classic. I think classic is where the beauty is, like Victorian era. Their furniture is more well done. It's elegant. It's got that feel to it that I tend to love. Um, with the velvet feeling furniture and the nice artwork that's done that goes into it. Um, I'm a very artistic person. I feel that most modern art isn't art to me, it's just crap. Pop art is crap to me. Not gonna lie. I feel that art that has been done in the old days or the classic art, I'll give you an example. Leonardo da Vinci. That's an artist. I can say not only an artist, but a brilliant man who had the knowledge of not just art, but logic, math, inventing. He was very good in those areas. He was intelligent, highly intellectual individual. So when I say brilliant, I really mean it. But there's plenty of artists that I like. I like Salvador Dali. I think he's an awesome artist. I also am a fan of poetry by and I for the life of me can't pronounce his name. Edgar Allan Poe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't know how to say his first name that well, or at least I mispronounce it. Because sometimes I have to slow down when I talk, but I'm grateful for his poetry. Because I love his poetry. I can relate to it. And I know he writes short stories, but then I do feel in his day they were considered short stories when in fact they're actually pretty damn long for me. Basically. But I still enjoy them, nonetheless. Um, I'm grateful for the holiday Halloween. I like Halloween. I like the holiday altogether because it's fun. Um, and some of the coolest horror movies come out during Halloween. So, and it's a very witchy holiday. That's what I like about it. Well, to be more technical, it was originally Samhain, and then Christians, or I should say Catholics, decided to convert it into All Hallows Eve, which eventually evolved into Halloween, if you know the history of Halloween. But Samhain is usually the term that a pagan or Wiccan will use for that holiday, celebrating it. And then I know there's the Day of the Dead, which is celebrated by Mexicans, I believe, which is actually a very interesting holiday on its own. But let's see. I also like 4th of July. I like that holiday because you light off fireworks and have a lot of fun. And it's during summer. I mean, there's things I like about Christmas too, but I just don't like the music. I know. Well, because it gets stuck in my head and it gets on my nerves and it irritates me. Kind of drives me bonkers. But it's kind of tacky. Actually, it is tacky. Christmas sweaters are tacky to me too. But I like celebrating Christmas, even though pagans consider it Yule. And really, that Christmas tree is originally pagan. Some people don't know this, but it is. Rarely midnight, you have to put your input. My cat always has to put his input. Let's see. I'm grateful for the fact that the number 13 is my lucky number. I usually love that number. Big time. So on Friday the 13th, I don't get superstitious about it. I get like the opposite of superstitious. I get excited for Friday the 13th. Because it just seems like that's a lucky day for me and my dad. Holy gosh, yeah. Oh, yachty. Another thing I'm grateful for, that I don't have a flat out beard. Because I do grow some chin hairs, but it's not enough to be a beard. And then I get a hair on my neck. A little hair. Oh, it's embarrassing. And I do have a unibrow, but you don't see it all that much. It just has to really grow out for you to see the unibrow. Like it gets fuzzy. That's silly. Oh, what else am I grateful? 'For? 'Cause. 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 ' I'm grateful that I have my teeth. Even though I don't like going to the dentist. And I should make a better habit of brushing my teeth, because sometimes I will clonk out on my bed and forget to brush my teeth. That's my excuse, so there. But I do swear, I do literally clonk out when I'm tired enough. And I will go without brushing my teeth. Oh, I can't think of anything more. So I'll come back to you when I want to make another video. Bye.